Welcome back to my channel and welcome to the next part of my 2024 makeup collection and declutter series. Today we're going to be decluttering my face palettes. So this is my current face palette collection. I don't know how many of these I'm actually going to declutter. I did not collect a whole bunch of palettes this year. I think I only added maybe 2 or 3. So we'll just kind of see how this goes. But I'm going to pull everything out the drawer, put it on my table, and then we'll just start going through everything one at a time. So I'm just going to go ahead and just start grabbing palettes. I believe I have 17. And like I said, I don't know how many of these I'm actually going to declutter. I didn't really gather that many this year. All right, let's go ahead and start with these. These are from CoverGirl. I will be keeping all 3 of these. These 2 are from the Full Spectrum line. Unfortunately, that line does not exist. I don't know why they discontinued it. It was such a good line. All the products in it were so good. But these are the 2 face palettes. We have the lighter one, and then this is kind of like the medium to deep. These are the most beautiful, smooth highlights. I have loved these palettes so much. I love this little shade right here. So pretty. This one, I think I am going to go ahead and declutter. I've had this one for a while. This is the Chocoholic. There used to be a contour in the middle that broke. I have these shades 1,000 times over in other palettes. I have similar shades in these 2. I think I am going to go ahead and declutter this one. Since I have these, I don't really need this one anymore. This one is from Kiko Milano. It is a highlighter and a blush. It's from the Powerful Love collection. This is the Coral Seduction. I will be hanging on to this one. This is such a beautiful palette. Gorgeous highlighter, gorgeous blush. And then we have my Bare Cheeks from, who is this? Blend Bunny. This is such a beautiful palette. Look at that. Oh my word. I had to rip the mirror out of it. It broke. But the tones in here are just so pretty. They're so smooth. They're so pigmented, so long wearing. Love this palette. This one I'm debating about. It is the Moon Prism Blush Palette from Moon Beauty. I love this out of packaging. It's raised and has kind of a Sailor Moon inspiration. The tones in here are pretty, but I just don't find myself reaching for this palette. I tend to pull singles more often than I do the palette, but you know what? I'm going to hang on to it one more year. If I don't really pull it out, much at all in 2025, then I'll consider decluttering it next year, but just for the packaging alone, I think I want to hang on to it a little bit longer. The Bellini palette from BH Cosmetics. This is one of my favorites. 6 peachy tones. These are the most beautiful shades in like the spring and the summertime. Pigmented, blends beautifully. I've had this palette for a couple of years and it still performs just like new. I will be hanging on to this one too. We are already almost finished, you guys. Like I said, I don't have that many palettes. This one, this is the Peach Blossom from Essence. I picked this one up. It's a blush and highlighter palette. I have been wanting to try this one for the longest time, but when I got it, all right, so you look at it, and these tones are so pretty, but there is no pigment. Like when I blend these on my cheeks, I'm getting barely any pigment. I have to build and build and build to get these blushes to work. And I am not too fond of this palette. I will be decluttering this one. And then we have my 2 Udens eye palettes. This one is the Soul Main, and then we have the Alva. Do I need both? So these are kind of like the more like everyday tones. And then this one, these are more shifty, more colorful. You have a blue. I don't know. You know what? I think I'll hang on to the Soul Main. I don't really ever pull this one. Like I don't really have a use for a blue highlighter. Yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and declutter this one and I'll just hang on to the Soul Main. Moving into this stack, this first one, I'm going to move this one into my eyeshadow palettes. This is the Noctilucent from Blend Bunny. It's a highlighter palette, but these are more like shifty duochromes, and I really only use these as eyeshadow toppers. I don't use these on my cheeks, so I'm just going to go ahead and move this one to my eyeshadow palettes. We have 2 from Revolution. This one I absolutely love. I got this one out of an advent calendar last year, and these tones are so freaking pretty. This orange, both the blush and like the shimmery kind of highlighter up here are stunning. Every shade in here, every formula, it is gorgeous. I will definitely be keeping this one. The Roxy palette. I just got this one maybe a couple of months ago. It is newer to my collection, but I have to say I don't really like it. I feel like these shades, while pretty in the palette, there's not much pigment going on when I blend them on my cheeks. I feel like they don't really blend that well. They're not that long wearing. These are kind of like shimmery. I don't know. I don't really like this palette. I was so excited to get it. I had an Ulta gift card and I went to Ulta in person and bought some stuff. And this is one of the things that I got. Like I said, I'm just disappointed in the formula. I just don't think it performs very well. I thought about hanging on to it since it's newer to my collection, but I know that I'm just not going to pull this. I'd rather just go ahead and give this to a friend, somebody else that may appreciate it more. I'm just going to go ahead and let it go. These two are from BH Cosmetics. They are the Nude Eagle palettes. We have the Flatter Me Unfiltered and the Flatter Me I Don't Give an F. This one of the two is my favorite. These gorgeous orangey tones and this peachy tone on the end. So beautiful. And then this one has more kind of mauvey purple. This is more of a cooler tone palette. I don't really use this shade here, but I do love these three. So I will be hanging on to this one. And you guys, we are down to my last two palettes. Like I said, that was not going to take very long at all. This one, this is the three-piece face palette from the Black Widow collection with Ulta. Black Widow Marvel. This is the Electric Intelligence and Mission. You guys, I love this palette. I don't really use the highlighter that much, but the blush and the bronzer in here are absolutely stunning. I will be hanging on to this one. And I will also be keeping my last palette. This is the BH Cosmetics Spotlight Highlight palette. This is one of the first palettes I ever got when I first started really getting into makeup, and it still performs. All of these tones are so pretty. They look so just glossy and wet looking on the cheek. I love this palette. I will be hanging on to it. And that, you guys, that is it. This very, very short video, quickly going through my palettes. We'll be going through my bronzers and my highlighters next. If you enjoyed the video, please try to give the video a thumbs up. It really does help me get my videos into recommendations. If you're new to my channel and you're not already subscribed, I would love it if you would consider joining my little family, hitting subscribe. Make sure you tap the bell so you don't miss a thing. You can also follow me on my other socials. I'm on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. Be safe, take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next one.